Alright, I'm going to take you on a tour of my patcher journey. So I just started learning patcher, and I'm already patching within patches. So we're going deep here. And the reason I started using it is because look at all this junk here. I'd rather just click this and then see more junk. And what I want to do, because I have a bunch of drums up here and I can't figure out how to patch them yet, I want to move this one up, my main synth, move it on the top so I could just see it there. Then I have a second patch here. That isn't, how do you like highlight that? Okay, so you actually have to click on it, learn something new. Anyway, we want to move this one up as well. So that way I don't have to deal with all these drums. Ideally, I would have the drums way at the bottom and I'd have my patches here and I'd put my automation clips between them. So what I did is I took this 2-minute trance pluck from a YouTube tutorial and I put it into patcher here. Now you don't see the Sytrus. What I used here was this plugin called Sytrus, and you can mess with a bunch of stuff here. So we want to mess with this stuff, but we want to keep it clean. So we just go to our patcher, and these are a bunch of like EQ things. And the great thing about patcher is I've set up, and you can see I named these. So these are just controller envelopes that control these switches here. So I just, I can move that around. Goes out of it, that's fine. Move that around. I got a button there. I got bandpass, and we could test these by actually opening this up, and then we could go to bandpass here, and you can see up and down. Middle doesn't really go anywhere yet. And then my lows, and then I have this band glide, which is cool. And I'll show you how I made that. Here, let's do a visual first. This is how powerful patcher is. So pay attention to 3 here. And this is just with one knob, and it's going to do an XY thing. It goes up, goes back down. Goes up, goes back down. So it's going to get loud. I'm going to turn this down. And then I'm going to turn it back up to no. So this is what the band spike does. And I can like move this back and forth. So eventually we're gonna like automate this. So if I activate it, this means that other things can interact with it. But we'll come back to that in a bit. Anyway, so I have all these set up. And this is our main synth here. So that plugin I was talking about is just nestled in another patcher. And it's got all of these set up here, which is very complicated. But if I click here, we're back at this synth, back at our synth. And if we close this out, that synth goes to all of this stuff, and then it goes to, why does it always do this? Okay. So that's the output. And what's coming in here from FL Studio is the piano roll. So this is getting fed into these notes here. Let me press play on the pattern. These MIDI notes are being fed into, yep, right there, from FL Studio. So that input's being fed into this keyboard here, and you can see them being pressed. And then now I have like a dry channel. So what a dry channel is, like I have a bunch of effects down here that I need to figure out, and I can't figure out how to do 3 effects and bypass them. But that dry goes straight to, as I always like. Oops. Messing up my own setup here. So we got the keys coming in. They go into our, let's move stuff around so we can see it. So, and this is like shorthand for 2-minute trance pluck. So 2-minute trance pluck dry, and I have a button here. So I'll just like bypass all of these effects down here, watch, with the click of a button. So this is how it sounds without delay and without chorus. Let me turn that up a bit. Then I can turn it back on. So now I can bypass the chorus. And I can also bypass the delay. So let's just try the chorus. And then they're both off. And then I'll activate them and that sounds way better. So this has an effects in. And the way the bypass works is these kind of invert, like if the button is pressed, it's on, and if it's pressed again, it's off. This is the inverse of that. The button is pressed, it's off, and then the button presses on. So that affects the volumes here. So this volume and this volume. So whenever I press the button, one volume is going to be on, one volume is going to be off. So the top one should be on, and I press it again. Top one's off, bottom one's on. So I'm just like bypassing the audio out, and this is just all a chain of just audio. Well, it's a MIDI input going into a synthesizer, which is creating digital audio.